Hello again, this is Randy back in the shop. Today I'm going to be working on this HEI distributor here. I've got it all tore apart, all the parts clean, and the first thing we got to do is down in here there's some felt that goes in there because this housing here has a hole in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, that hole, but that lubricates the shaft, because the shaft has this groove in it here, so that lubricates the top, and the bottom is lubricated by splash from the bottom distributor gear. So I've got a couple pieces of felt here. This here is some of the pieces of the old felt that was in the distributor, and I'm just going to cut a couple little strips. This is a piece of felt I bought for replacing way wipers on the lathe. So I'm going to get this cut up here, get some little strips down in here for that, and then this piece goes on top of there. And there's another felt washer that goes on top first. Well, we'll get these pieces cut out here. Let me find a piece of wood. Let's see if I can get this cut here. Here we go. Okay. These pieces will fit down in here like this here. Take a screwdriver and kind of pack them in there a little bit. Just like that there, and we'll give them a shot of oil. Let me grab an oil can. All right. This plastic piece goes on top of there like that, and then another little felt washer that sits in there like that. Just like that. Okay. This is your main shaft here. We're going to take and put a little grease in this groove here. And this piece here with your, I guess you call it a reluctor or whatever, that slides up through the middle. Like that there. And you've got this piece goes on top of here. you have to make sure that the curved edge, one edge is curved, the other edge is straight. The curved edge goes against your weight. Just like that there. That way you get a smooth advance as your centrifugal weights come out. There's a couple of E-clips here. And that holds your advance cam onto your trigger shaft here. Okay. Now the next part we got, this is your vacuum advance. You always want to check and make sure these are good. I have a vacuum pump that I hooked to it. It's a little hand operated pump like this here. When you pull the trigger, it pulls a vacuum. Plug that in there. Plug this in here. And when I pump this up, you'll see this little shaft move. That's your vacuum advance and advancing your timing. That way you know your vacuum advance diaphragm is good. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, the next part that's going to go in is your magnetic pickup here. But first we want to ohm it to make sure that it's good. Check our ohm meter here, and we'll touch. Doesn't matter which wire you do. This one here, and this one here. We got 8.17 ohms, so this pickup coil is good. One thing you got to watch for is where this bends. A lot of times the wires will break right here, and then you'll have an open and your motor won't run. But before you can put your pickup coil on, you need to install your vacuum advance. There's just two screws that hold that into the distributor housing here. Gotta move the camera a little bit here. go. And your magnetic pickup just slides over the top. You gotta make sure to get this lever in with your advance diaphragm. And there's a little horseshoe clip that goes on the top of the shaft right here, and that keeps this from sliding off. Here's that little clip. It's almost like a wave washer clip. Nope. Just like that there. Okay. Now we're ready for our main shaft. Oh, first we got to put the module in. And what you have to do before you put your module in is take some dielectric grease and spread it over this area right here. What this does is it helps pull the heat out of your electronic module. This plugs in like this here. I'll actually do this side first. That plugs in like that. Like that. And like that. There are two screws that hold that on. That there. Tighten these down with a little nut driver. The shaft here, a couple squirts of oil. Slide this in here. that. All right. And your advanced weights go on there like that. One way, one the other way here. It's like that. And then you got your springs. These are your advanced springs. They may make a real light spring like that there, and you can get heavy ones like this. And this just, let me get a little pick. It just clips on there like that. Another spring here. And just clips on there like that. And that pulls these weights back. And as you hold your shaft, see, it pulls it back like that. Okay. Now what you have to do is check the shaft end play, but we can't do that after we put the distributor down in the motor. I'll be back. Alright, I set this in the block, and what I did is I put a little gear marking compound on the gear so you can see where the gear is contacting the cam gear. Right there. It's in about the center of the gear, but I gotta shim this because I've got too much end play. So I gotta see what I can find for shims. Be right back. Alright, I got the distributor in. It's all timed. This is where number 1 is on the distributor cap. And my rotor is lined up approximately where it's got to be. And you can see my timing mark is lined up with number 1, so that should be close to get it to start right there. Let's set the distributor cap back on here. Let's see if I can do this one hand. There we go. Just like that. And I'll take a screwdriver and I'll tighten this down. The valve covers are on. Spark plug wires are on. Spark plugs are in. We're getting close. I got a couple more things. There's a fitting in the old manifold that I have to get out. That's got to go here. And there's a coolant temp sensor that goes here. And I got to put a pipe plug in here in the manifold. And going to be using the original Quadrajet that came on the car. I have to take that apart yet and rebuild that. So that'll be coming up next. Also, what I have to do is I'm going to take the alternator apart, and I'm going to inspect it and make sure the brushes are and everything, and brushes and the bearings and everything in there are good, and clean it up good, and that kind of thing. But we're getting really close. I got to get a thermostat for it yet, and there's a bypass hose that goes between this outlet pipe on the water pump and the thermostat housing, and this is for your heater hose. So I got to put the pulleys on it yet, and I got a new fuel pump for it. Made a new fuel line because the stock pump is only rated for about 12 gallons per hour, and I just don't think that this is going to be enough to feed this motor. So this is an 80 gallon per hour pump. That should be plenty. One other thing I do too, on the intake manifolds, you can see the sealer right here on the manifold. I put the sealer on and set the manifold on, and just lightly snug the bolts, and I let it sit for a couple days so this sealer has a chance to set up a little bit. And then I torqued it down, torqued it to 20 foot-pounds, and that seems to work really good for sealing the ends of the intake manifold. You can see it back here. It's all in there really good. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that a little bit. The distributor I ended up taking to a friend of mine who has a old Sun distributor machine, and I had him spin it. He didn't want to be on camera or anything, so I didn't get any video of that. But as it stands right now, we had changed springs around. It's got 22 degrees of advance in the distributor, and it's all in at 3,000 RPM, which should be pretty good. The advance starts at about 900 RPM, and all the centrifugal advance is in at 3,000. So if I set the initial at 10 or 11 degrees with the advance, why, that'll give you roughly 33, 34 degrees of timing at 3,000 RPM. That should be pretty close. So we'll find out more for sure when I dyno it, but I've got the headers ordered for it, so hopefully in the next week here I'll have this on the run stand and have it running, and get the timing and stuff close, and then we'll take it to the dyno and we'll put it on the pump and we'll see what it makes. Well, anyway, let me know if you want to see more rebuilding the carburetor and the alternator and whatnot. You know, put a post in the comments and let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to film it. So anyway, hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.